Hello YouTube, Ronin Kazi. Diablo 4 after the patch. We've been nerfed, YouTube. We've been nerfed. So what I did is I deleted all my hardcore characters. I kept my one necromancer that's kind of high so that I can use them to generate things, or if I need to go get Liliths or anything like that. But the other folks are living in this new patch. Guess what, YouTube? I don't care about the nerf. One of the reasons I don't care, I've been playing, I'm not showing my bona fides. I've just been playing the games long time, Blizzard games. They are constantly adjusting classes and doing all that. If you think the game is going to start and end up anywhere near where it started, you're wrong. If you find exploits, they can just wait till the next patch and then undo your exploits. Sometimes when I'm talking to some people about builds, that's why the builds don't matter. They really don't, because yes, you could do 1 billion of damage. They're just going to take that away from you. Then you're going to have to do something else. Doesn't change the underlying game. None of this does, to be honest. Think about all the things they did when they did the beta testing. You would think during beta testing, you think that they would automatically know to have fast travel. You think they'd already have, you could group with other people to do dungeons or harder content and all that stuff. Not for nothing, probably the most successful paid game of all time is World of Warcraft. And I would just say that because at one point it had 15 million subscribers at paying $15 a month. You had to pay money to get the game, and then you had to pay every month. And if you ever heard of a thing called Chinese gold farmers, there was a point that, I don't know if the people were from China, but people in countries that were not as economically well off as the United States would have farms of people that would just grind and get gold and then sell you gold to your characters online, or they'd power level a character for you. All types of these kind of things. And this has always been in Blizzard. I played World of Warcraft. I think I told that story before. I was a druid, and it was shitty. And now it's one of the best classes. It can do everything great. So that's why I don't worry about it. People would tell me, oh, druid, some people say it's hard to level. None of these characters are hard to level. It's all going to be a grind. But they're doing that to slow us down, because there's not end game content, and you're not going to be happy. After you get your character to level 100, then what? And there's a group of people that are always going to do that. God bless those people. And I want you to think of this scenario. Imagine I had 1 million subs. I could hire someone. Let's just do a quick math here. If I could do 1 million subs, and let's say 100,000 people watched a video, and at one point they were paying 18 cents a video. That means every video I put out every week, 18 cents of that, I don't know, 10% of 100,000, 10,000. So that's like 18,000, right? That's 18,000 a week times 100. Then divide it in half. It's a lot, YouTube. But I think they get more than, people get millions of views and that kind of stuff. You have an economy. You could hire someone for $30,000 a year to level your characters while you sleep. I'm not saying anyone does that. And there's those gold farmers too, right? And they do items, and you can trade games. You can pay for all those items. So one of the things when I've been watching videos of anyone that does a build or anyone that has the best content, I take it with a grain of salt, because you've seen ad nauseum the amount of legendary videos I do on the Division 2. You can see exactly what I do. I use the same build all the time. It doesn't matter if the people are low level or high level. I'm going to get through a legendary no matter what with that build. No matter what, YouTube. It's not a meta build. So there's a couple cottage industries in YouTube. Number 1 is builds. Number 2 is patch notes. So that's why I said me too. And I apologize for doing a Me Too. I want some of your clickbaity goodness to watch what I have to say about the nerf, and I don't care about the nerf. It doesn't matter. It's going to get nerfed. Furthermore, if you follow the channel, here's the zinger. There's some religions, some philosophies in the world with a great number of people that believe life is change. I'd submit to you that is a constant. One thing is for sure, that things are going to change. And there's a certain group of people that are resistant to change. They like to get things set up and then they don't want it to change. And those are people that might play, what if I still only played Division 1 because I didn't like how, right? Not about that. When you're an older person, and I'm an older person, this is something you always have to guard against. This inflexibility to accept new ideas, to accept criticism, to change. It makes you more manageable. When these things come like this, it doesn't matter. It gives me content that I can talk about the nerfs for weeks. Here's what I can tell you that sucks. I've had hardcore characters, and when I do dungeons with hardcore characters, on 3 of them, that stupid guy, that stupid guy spawned in my dungeon. I ran around one of those dungeons, and finally he despawned. But the butcher killed my other 2 characters. So I don't go in dungeons anymore until my characters can handle it. And that's the nature of the game. That's what all these games, that's what makes the game good. I have to change my strategy. A lot of people don't want to change. I'm going to ask you to do this. Accept that, and in the big scheme of things, that's not much of a change. And so, one, I'd like to point out, a great personality trait is acceptance to change, if you can have it. It's not always easy. I also told you can't change everything all the time. You have certain things, but you got to be acceptable. If you're acceptable to change, you're going to be acceptable to other points of view. It doesn't mean you have to do every point of view. Then you're lost. You're a cork bobbing in the ocean. Whatever the ocean carries you, that's what you do because you're changing constantly. Not saying that, but you just got to realize you got to go with the flow sometimes. Number 2, the internet is designed for this. I've had a channel. I've been doing stuff since October. Thank you to everyone that subscribes. I really appreciate everyone that takes the time to watch some of the videos. They might not all be a cup of tea. I'm not doing your standard YouTube channel. I'm sharing these kind of things with you because this is the same kind of information I give people I've mentored in my jobs, that I spread with my family, and everything else. I'm not saying accept change because somehow you're going to be able to accept the patch fix better, because it makes my relationship better with my significant other, with my spouse. It makes me a better spouse if I can, in a moment where I can get out of the situation and think about the situation, it's not that bad, it's not that egregious, I can change a little bit and have great growth. And I'm with a person that I love and I want to be with them forever. And the horrible thing is, YouTube, my dad died when I was 18. They might die at any point too. So I should try to enjoy them as long as I can. I should try to accept everything that comes my way. It's not always great, but life is change. The internet is going to be rambunctious about things. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It's just going to put a lot of noise. There's a lot of people. Imagine someone that gets 60,000 views on one video. They're making, let's say, 20 cents. That might be $12,000 that might be $12,000 that they get off of that from YouTube. So that they may have stopped working, that may be their career. So they're going to follow the algorithm. They're going to follow what you click on and give you more of that. They're going to put colors on there. And they're going to have titling that's the same. You can go and search YouTube. How do I make videos? Your titling should look like this. You should never do this. I try to give you every single time. I try to give you a unique thumbnail. I try to look at what colors have I been using. I don't try to give you the same thing. I'm trying to give you an original daily experience. Some of the themes I talk about are the same because they're so important. They can really help shape your life. Until you get nerfed. And that's the thing in life. There's always nerfs. There's some type of thing that's going to come down. There's a law. Think about marijuana in this country. At one point, it probably was nothing. Hemp was nothing. It's just something farmers grew. Then it became a thing. Then it became a Schedule I drug. And then states have voted to legalize it, which puts problems because federally it's still a scheduled drug. And I know people, I'm in a state where they've legalized marijuana, but some people work at places that have federal money. So those places are cowards and won't fire their people because they don't like them. They make them take a drug test and they fire them because they're a federal funded place and it's not legal for federal. So they just use it as a bullshit way to fire people. In my town, we passed, I don't know, we voted on it a zillion times, the state voted on it. We still don't have like dispensaries. So if we wanted to buy stuff, we'd have to go to a different town. Like some of this is you get nerfed. We nerfed the state of Michigan and said, hey, we want marijuana. And we nerfed my hometown and said, we want it here. And they don't care. So there's nothing you can really control about that. What you can control, you do. You can't control the nerf. Why is Blizzard in business? Anyone YouTube? Bueller? Anyone? Because they're there to make money. If you think chasing the meta, chasing what's popular, there's tons of movies, there's tons of books, there's tons of stories about how that's not the way to live. You might live that sometimes. But if that was the right way, you probably wouldn't have sports because you want competition between two things. If one team won all the time, it'd be boring. It's not what people, not Americans at least, it's not something we like. Underdog stories, like all those things. We like our dynasties too. And I'm not saying people in other countries want to have like one soccer club or one football club to dominate everything, or a cricket team to dominate everything. As humans, part of what helps us grow is variety. Helps us. Some of the things that help us are changes that make us adapt to do different things, to learn new things. As an older person, I'm old and I'm trying to put out videos once a day to tell you stuff about games I play, but really I'm trying to tell you about things that help with life. And in the backdrop, there's a game playing. So I'm leveling this character to level 10 on hardcore mode in season 10. And I said, don't continue the campaign. I'm going to do that on my main character. But then I'm like, that's kind of stupid because, so I don't know. Because I have to do that. I have to do it on a new character. So I may have to roll another character. But what is the point of me making these hardcore characters? Because now I'm going to make hardcore characters, level them all to 25 and tell you which character is better. How many times I died with this one or that one? The Necro, I went through there like it's nothing. The Barbarian, I went through to like level 30 like it's nothing. Those two classes in hardcore mode right from the start. Barbarian is super powerful with thorns and the one shout that gets everyone in on you. That's just OP. And it has a couple other things. It has like an ultimate that's great where 3 guys, it's a boss killer. That's a great thing if you want to go hardcore, at least to level 30, but I'm going to tell you the whole way. And Necro's easy because you just have all those pets. It's easy. If that's your play style. So YouTube, we've been nerfed, but it's okay. And I apologize for clickbait nerf titles, but I would like to get new subscribers. If you're a new subscriber, thank you for liking, sharing, subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, hit the notifications. Appreciate YouTube. Thank you. Have a good evening.